from that side. Our next guest is Chairman of the National Jewish Human Rights Body, the B'nai B'rith Anti-Defamation Commission, Dvir Abramovich. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tom. Good to be on the show. I'm a big fan.
Thank you. Now, look, I know that some Jewish groups were upset that the, if you like, pro-Palestinian play Tales of a City by the Sea made it into the English curriculum here in Victoria. Where do you stand on that?
Look, I first want to clarify the issue, Tom, because it's certainly not about censorship. When we became aware that this, what we would say is an unabashed anti-Israel play, and also we think anti-Semitic play, was chosen to be on the VC drama list, we never urged anybody to remove the play or to have it pulled. We never approached the Minister for Education. So I think for the record, we need to say this, that we never wanted the play to be pulled or removed. We're not in the business of censorship. We believe in freedom of speech.
Okay, so what do you want to have happen?
So what we wanted to do was really to provoke a discussion in the public square about the selection criteria and how the VCAA panel came to the conclusion that this text was an educational text, and how they allowed this piece of pure propaganda to infiltrate the VC curriculum, and we believe to poison the minds of impressionable young people. You talked about Harper Lee, and you talked about Thomas Keneally, and you talked about Shakespeare. There's a world of difference, Tom, and I assume that you have not seen the play or read the play.
No, I haven't.
But okay, so there's a world of difference between these classic texts, which provide a rich tapestry and context. In this play, there's no context, there's no pretense to objectivity or balance. It's just a whitewashing of the truth. And I think students will lose because, my view, VCE text, controversial or not, should promote understanding of issues, not be a distortion of the facts.
Okay, but do you think that the VCAA, the Curriculum Assessment Authority, do you think it should take into account people's cultural or religious sensitivities when it selects text? Because I, for one, think we shouldn't do that.
Well, I think we actually need to define what community standards are. And can I just say that for the record, we would be outraged if it came to our attention that any VC text vilified and maligned Muslims or Christians or women or the LGBTI community or Indigenous Australian or any other ethnic, religious or cultural group. So we're about fighting stereotypes and hateful rhetoric. And
but would you ban The Merchant of Venice, though? Because, the character Shylock does not paint Jewish people in a particularly good light.
Right. But I think that certainly we would not ban the Merchant of Venice. We would make sure that there was a very comprehensive educational guide that was submitted along with, and that students would be well informed. Look, Tom, you're a seasoned journalist. I know you've been around for a long time. Hatred has many faces and many expressions. But I never thought that I'd see the day that it finds a home in the VC syllabus. And we live in a time of rising anti-Semitism, the growing rhetoric of intolerance, radicalization. The last thing we need is a VC text that actually inspires hatred. And when we come back to community standards, I think that when parents send their kids to school, they expect those schools to be safe zones that foster mutual respect and tolerance, not to stoke the flames of racial and religious division.
But that language you use, safe zones, that is what is being used to censor university campuses in America. Students demand a safe zone free from any idea that they find offensive. So as a result, almost nothing can be discussed. I mean that is, to me, odd language.
Certainly not, and we don't think that students should be shielded from robust industrial strength debate. What we do say is this, that when VC students will come out after watching this play, which really is one-sided, they will lose because they will be convinced to hate Israelis and Jews, who are depicted as cold, stone, bloodthirsty killers, who are determined to wipe out the Palestinians and murder their babies. And we had parents calling us up and saying, look, my son is Jewish, he's in this school, they are going to see the play. We're concerned about him because any students who comes out of this play will feel justified hating Jews and Israelis. And, the association of Jews spilling innocent blood feeds into classic anti-Semitic myths and stereotypes. And we don't think that students who are studying VC drama or any other subject should be incited to hatred, and that's exactly what the play does. VC text should promote understanding of the issues. And we really feel that this play lacks any kind of perspective. So nowhere when you see this play, you talked about Harper Lee's book, and you talked about Tom Keneally. They present context, they present the facts. Nowhere in this play do we find the Israeli perspective, the Gaza withdrawal, the rockets that have been fired at Israel.
All right, we better leave it there because we have run out of time. I do appreciate your time. That's Dvir Abramovich, chairman of the National Jewish Human Rights Body, B'nai B'rith. Well, I don't actually agree with Dvir, and I don't actually agree with James Molino either. I think you do have to challenge perspectives. I'm not saying that you would only read a play or watch a play by a Palestinian activist, but you might see something like that, and you might look at it from the other side and conclude that somewhere in the middle lies the truth. Anyway, I suspect we are headed towards an era of censorship. I really do. I'm seeing it happen in America. I think if you put things in context, for example, if you had the pro-Palestinian play, a teacher could say, look, this is written from the perspective of a Palestinian activist. And then you might put something else on or read something else that presents it in that case from the Jewish perspective and then invite debate. I think that's what you have to do.